You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday, happy Mercury Day, and hello to the construction workers next door who decided to start hammering right now. It's Mercury retrograde. Anything could happen, so bear with me. And we're right smack dab in the middle of Taurus season. Happy birthday to some notable Tauruses, including Salvador Dali, if he was still around, Natasha Richardson, Cam Newton, Corey Monteith, RIP. Interesting Taurus selection for birthdays today. Jeffrey Donovan. Let me know if it's your birthday, if you are a Taurus. I would love to give you a little shout out and celebrate you as well. So, like I said, we're going to do a quick forecast today, and we're actually going to do it a little bit differently than normal. We have a Virgo moon. You know, we talked about Jupiter moving into Aries. We talked about Mercury retrograde over the past 2 days, the major energetic shifts we're experiencing right now. So today's more of a calibration day. The moon in Virgo definitely helps us make any adjustments, take note of the details, and hopefully just kind of attune to this new energy, because we have a little lull in major transits until Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which we will talk about on Friday. Hey, Jazz, thank you for being here. Hopefully this hammering isn't too distracting. So, like I said, we're going to try this a little differently today, and I'm going to pull up the forecast as we go through it because the moon is making a lot of different connections, and I'm going to go through them really quickly. So, you know, I want to make sure that you can follow along easily. And also, something I don't talk about very often is the fact that there is a written forecast for you on thespiritualjournalist.com published every morning at 1:11 a.m. So you're always welcome to check there first thing in the morning if you can't make these live streams or you're looking for some guidance before I'm able to go live. So here's what that looks like at thespiritualjournalist.com. Our affirmation of the day: my small daily choices create my reality. That's really the vibe of the Virgo moon, paying attention to all the small parts that make up the whole. And so we'll be more emotionally aware with the moon in Virgo of the details of our small daily tasks, of the hammering going on next door. The Virgo moon also makes us a little bit more critical because we're more aware of those details. And so things can get on our nerves a little bit more easily, or little tiny things can, I don't want to say set us off, but because our emotional awareness is about the details, we're definitely more emotionally aware of the little things, right? Now, the way to use the Virgo energy to our benefit, and I say this with a lot of love, I am a very Virgo human, is to align with the energy of service. So although the hammering in the background is driving me a little bit nuts, I want to be here, I want to serve you, I want to connect with you, and that's where the motivation is coming from. That's what's going to nurture me emotionally under a Virgo moon, is serving others. So if you're finding yourself getting a little irritated, ask, how can I be of service today? Expect to feel very busy too. The Virgo moon makes us feel productive, like we want to check all the things off of our to-do list, and it's making a lot of different connections, starting with an opposition to Mars. So you can see the current chart here. We have the moon at 22 degrees in Virgo. When it was at 20 degrees, about 4 a.m., I believe, was when the moon was opposing Mars. So you might have woken up first thing this morning feeling a burst of energy, or even just a little bit of irritation, maybe an impulse. With the moon in Virgo, those small irritations with the moon opposing Mars could have triggered us first thing this morning. So you might have felt a little restless or even unable to stay asleep this morning. When the moon opposes Mars, it can just make us feel restless, impulsive, like we need to do something. Now at 6 a.m., the moon harmonized with the sun. So luckily, although we might have felt a little irritation, you can see on our chart, the moon and sun at 20 degrees definitely gave us confidence when they harmonized with one another. It's like our inner self is flowing or harmonizing with our outer self when the moon and sun form this beautiful 120-degree angle to one another. So this can help us kind of ground into our confidence with this earthly trine that we're experiencing today between the moon and sun. And I would say this is probably the transit that we will feel most strongly throughout the morning, because the moon and the sun are like mom and dad. They are, our main luminaries in our solar system. So when they connect, we really feel that nice, flowing, harmonious energy, more confident, more determined with the sun in Taurus, really helping us dig our toes in, ground into our bodies, into ourselves, and express ourselves with ease and with confidence. So that's really setting the stage. Although little things could be kind of irritating, overall, can you guys hear that? Let me know. Can you hear this hammering? Anyway, it's like a perfect description of these transits today, like the Virgo moon, just those small things getting on your nerves, but overall, Virgo energy is very confident, like we can do this. We can look at a 40, task long to-do list and be like, yeah, we got this. That's very Virgo energy, and very much when the moon harmonizes with the sun, we'll be feeling that. But right now, 10 a.m. Pacific time, the moon is actually harmonizing with the north node. So you can see the moon at 22 degrees, the north node at 22 degrees in Taurus, the south node at 22 degrees in Scorpio. Now, the north and south nodes are really playing a prominent role in eclipse season, because eclipses occur when the moon and sun align with the north and south nodes. So when the moon is connecting to the north and south node in this really supportive, harmonious way, it's helping us to analyze and comprehend, with the moon in Virgo, the bigger picture here, our purpose, the direction we are walking. And so even if it feels a little chaotic, Mercury is retrograde, it might not feel like there's a ton of clarity at the moment, we can know that the emotions we're feeling today, even the little things we're noticing today, are actually helping to move towards our purpose, to take what we've learned in past lives and use those lessons to become who we're supposed to be in this life. That's what's happening when we connect with the north and south nodes this way. It's definitely a subtle transit. These aren't major planets, they're just points in our solar system. But these small daily adjustments, these small habits that we're noticing under the Virgo moon can actually help us move the needle in the correct direction that we're supposed to be heading in this lifetime. So, we're more analytical under that Virgo moon. Everybody will be. This is really a great time to just kind of assess, how are my daily habits contributing to the overall big picture of my life? Okay, this afternoon. I told you the moon's making a lot of connections today, so we're speeding right through them. At 1 o'clock this afternoon, the moon, once it hits 24 degrees, so we'll jump ahead a few hours here, the moon is going to oppose Neptune. So you can see that opposition playing out. And when the Virgo moon comes into this opposition with Neptune and Pisces, it can create some confusion. And Mercury is retrograde. So like I said, it's not going to feel like things are super clear today necessarily. especially with this opposition going on between the moon and Neptune. And Saturn is forming an uncomfortable angle at the same time. So you can see the moon over here when it hits 24 degrees. Saturn is forming this imbalanced angle to the moon, which can just make it a little more difficult to act maturely, be patient, especially with that confusion with Neptune mirroring the moon. It's like you're looking into a foggy mirror almost. The Virgo moon wants clarity. It wants efficiency. It wants the speed that we're going at right now, flying through these transits, checking things off the to-do list. Productivity is key under Virgo's influence, right? But Neptune forces us to go with the flow and slow down and makes it difficult to see ourselves clearly, to understand our emotions clearly. And with this uncomfortable angle to Saturn, it could just bring like an impatient or a difficulty being patient and being mature amid the confusion. So just know you don't have to have it all figured out. And going with the flow will really help today if you can go with the flow. And look at that. The hammering stopped. So it sounds like the neighbors got on board. Ooh, irritated, annoyed, and you've been ill with the flu. I know someone else who has the flu right now too. I'm sending you good energy. Hoping you feel better soon. But yeah, this Virgo moon. You know, I will say something we didn't touch on is that the Virgo moon also puts the focus on our health and wellness. That's why we talk about our routines, our daily habits. So this is a really good time to take note of your health. Take note of the signals your body is telling you. Your health, not just like your daily routines of all the tasks you need to get done, but your health. How are you making time and space in that daily routine to support your health? Virgo rules the 6th house of health and wellness. So definitely something to keep in mind as well. All right, so once we get past the confusion of the afternoon, this opposition between the moon and Neptune, 8 o'clock tonight is when we could experience a transformative moment, because as you'll see on our chart here, jump ahead a few hours right now, the moon is going to come into a trine, a 120-degree harmonious angle with Pluto. See that dark blue line there? And when this happens, our emotions can support, or I should say, the transformation we're seeing on a bigger picture in the middle of eclipse season, with Mercury retrograde, with Jupiter in Aries. There's a lot of energetic shifts happening for us right now, and we could have an emotional awareness of this transformation at 8 p.m. Pacific time, or just late tonight in general. This can help us reflect and analyze all the steps we've been taking, all the little things we've been doing, and how they're contributing to the overall transformation. Or it could just feel like a flood of emotions surfacing today to allow us to have this breakthrough moment, or this realization, or this transformation. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, and when it harmonizes with the moon in this way, those transformative emotions can come through with ease. That can be a really positive thing, but that can also create a lot of intensity. Anytime Pluto is involved, it's intense, right? So as Pluto and the Virgo moon come into this earthy trine with one another, we can clear out the old to make room for the new. And sometimes clearing out the old involves purging, right? The Virgo moon likes to clear things out, likes to purge. And you know, it might feel right now like you have all these tasks and you're getting ready for something, because this is a waxing gibbous moon. As we lead up to the full moon, you could feel very busy and like you have a million little tasks on your to-do list. You're planning, you're preparing, you're getting ready for this culmination moment over the weekend for the lunar eclipse. But sometimes in all of that busyness, efficiency, what have you, we have moments where we have to purge, where we have to clear out. Sometimes it can be intense and come up without us even realizing what's happening. And that could definitely be the case with this trine, because emotions can flow through. Those intense, dark, deep emotions that we've been pushing down can surface, can flow through really easily. Give yourself grace if you're feeling anything really intense tonight, and know that it's probably just purging, probably just coming up for you to clear and make room for new things to enter during this eclipse season. All right, so the moon moves into Libra really late tonight. We'll jump ahead to the end of the day. And right when the moon moves into Libra, you can see it here. Where's Libra? 0 degrees. Right when the moon moves into Libra, you can see that dark red line. It opposes Jupiter. This is all going to happen right around midnight tonight. So some of us might just sleep right through this, right? But if you are awake, you might feel a weird surge of energy or even optimism or an over-the-top emotion. The Libra moon wants balance, right? So when the moon enters Libra, it could feel like that calibration continues, like there was a purge, there was a cleaning, you were trying to get busy, check off your to-do list all day. The moon in Libra over the next couple of days is like, okay, let's just find the flow, find the harmony. Let's just move with the energy instead of fighting so hard against it. But the funny thing is, right when the moon enters Libra tonight, Libra is the sign of the scales, but with this opposition to Jupiter, it's like a major tipping of the scales. It's kind of like like I said, an unwanted surge of energy. Like it could be like you're trying to come down and just relax, and Jupiter's like, whoa, hello, here's some more energy, here's some optimism, here's all this like over the top feeling. So if you happen to be awake, don't be surprised if you get like a weird rush at midnight or so tonight. If not, if you happen to be asleep, you might have some really over-the-top dreams tonight. So come back tomorrow. Let me know what happens late tonight for you. Yeah, it's very interesting because often when we talk about the moon entering Libra, it's like, it's like a nice sigh of relief. Let's just find some balance. And Jupiter is anything but balance, right? Jupiter is like all the energy, all the optimism, all the abundance. So it could even just feel like a last surge of energy before you crash tonight if you happen to be awake during this transit. Yes, love the reminder. You feel like you're getting ready for something. That's definitely the energy of the waxing Virgo moon today, especially with all these connections the moon is making. It's like we've got to get all the little pieces together. We've got to do all the things and do them as quickly as possible so we're ready for whatever is coming. Now, that could be something physical, like you have something coming up this weekend. You know that you're planning for something specific, or it could just be an intuitive knowing that shifts are happening, things are changing. And so internally you're like, okay, I've got to get everything settled and secure and sure. So like shored up. So I'm ready for whatever is coming next. That definitely feels like the energy just within me for sure. And with other people that I've been talking to and seeing. I'm a Libra sun. I've been feeling completely out of balance, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think the Libra moon could help you kind of come back to that balance over the next couple of days, but eclipse season throws us all off. So, as much as you like that balance, I would say lean into whatever's coming your way, and just sometimes the balance comes from just allowing, from just creating that within you and allowing the things around you to shift and move. But I feel you, girl. Like Mercury retrograde, Jupiter in Aries as well. So Jupiter in Aries is going to be opposing your sun at some point, and that could bring a lot of great things into your life. Of course, that probably won't happen for a while unless you're like a really low degree Libra sun. But yeah, also Taurus season, Taurus and Libra make an inconjunct angle to each other. So as someone who likes balance, you probably enjoy when your sun is making balanced connections or even just clear-cut connections to other planets and to the current sun. And right now, there's an imbalanced angle between your sun and the sun. So just keep that in mind too. I love being that friend that sees people's posts about sleep or dreams and I comment on it, on what's going on with the moon or the planets. Yes, sharing the love, sharing the wisdom. Love that so much. That makes me so happy. Getting more people attuned to the energy. Like this is part of what we're creating here, this community we're creating. It's not just me telling you what's going on. I'm just doing the busy work of gathering all the information and sharing it so then you can go out and spread it with the people you love and as well. Oh, you're like my little ambassador. I love it. Okay. Let's do an overview and then we will pull a card. So we've seen some major energetic shifts over the past few days. Mercury stationed retrograde, Jupiter entered Aries. This Wednesday and Thursday can feel like a calibration period. The moon is in Virgo, making a lot of different connections throughout the day. And the Virgo moon puts the focus on our small daily habits that make up the big picture, our health routines, our wellness routines. This is a time to pay attention to the details, and you might feel really busy, like you're getting ready for something big, like you're trying to check off all the things on your to-do list and do it as efficiently as possible under the Virgo moon. And because we're so attuned to the details when the moon is in Virgo, little irritations can cause, well, frustration or even some confusion. So today could feel like the energy is moving quickly and it's very up and down. You have moments of irritation, then moments of clarity, moments of confusion, then moments of transformation. Ride the waves. Just let it all happen to you. The moon dives into Libra late Wednesday night, where it craves balance, but the first connection it makes is anything but balanced. The moon opposes Jupiter very late tonight, which could bring a surge of energy to us around midnight if we're still awake, or even an overabundance of optimism. So really be careful. We might not have the best judgment very late tonight, and there's a chance you might just sleep through this and have really over the top dreams as well. But just if you're feeling that energy of busyness, go, 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 like you can't get everything done, there's so much to do, I'm right there with you, and just know that everything is happening in divine timing. You are on time, and it's all going to work out exactly how it's supposed to. Don't stress yourself out too much. Just try to flow a little bit more than forcing things, as maybe we tend to do a little bit under the Virgo moon. Oh, my boyfriend is a Taurus sun and rising. Interesting. So he's ruled by Venus, which is really nice. But yeah, he probably fills in a lot of gaps that of qualities that maybe you don't have, because Taurus and Libra embody really different energies, but they're both ruled by Venus, which is really nice. Okay, we're going to do a quick card pull from the Moonology Oracle cards. We haven't pulled from this deck in a while because we've had major things to talk about every day, and I really like using this deck when we just have some moon transits. So, as always, this is your time to ask questions of me, ask questions of the universe while I shuffle this up. I'm going to do a classic ASMR poker shuffle. Either you love this sound or you don't play cards. We'll do one more shuffle, see what message is coming through for us. Okay, what do we need to know under this busy Virgo moon? Okay, love this. We got the full moon in Libra card. Really interesting because we were just talking about the moon going into the sign of Libra. And it says a win-win outcome is forecast. Remember, I love how we've been talking so much about Libra energy just now. And remember, Libra energy sees all sides of things. And so it is the scales. And, even if things feel like uncertain right now, just know that there's going to be a win-win situation that comes out of everything that you're doing, all the efforts that you're making. Okay, let me find the description. Here we go. The full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love, and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason, and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There's a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. Let go of that which is falling away. See the other person through the eyes of love, and it could change your perspective. It's time for you to make a firm decision. Time for you to focus on yourself for a while. Look after yourself, but avoid vanity. Now is a great time for a makeover. No matter when you pull the full moon and Libra card, it encourages you to find a balance between your desires and those of the people around you. Balance is a very Libran energy, and the full moon brings things to a peak. Dramas and upsets bring partnerships to the fore. Libra energy also brings love energy. Negotiations are easier. And remember, the last full moon was in the sign of Libra, right? So it could be something that you're reflecting on that came up during the last full moon that maybe is coming to a head as we approach this next full moon, as we end out this cycle of the full moon, or maybe something, a shakeup that's been going on. I hope so. This retrograde and eclipse season has been so hard. Yeah, it really has. And we're right smack dab in the middle of it right now. Know that after this eclipse on Sunday, things should calm down in a sense, although we still have Mercury retrograde going on for a little bit. But I love that the focus of this card reminds us to take note of our own energy, right? To take our power back, but also be aware of what energy we're putting out there and how we're treating other people. Yet I'm here every day. No, this isn't to me. Okay. Thank you. I've been having this feeling I've got to get things done, and I just keep telling myself to pause and just go with the flow and get done what I can. Rachel, you are on the right page. I am right there with you. Feels like my to-do list is a million miles long, but sometimes the Virgo moon and the Libra moon, kind of in this cycle in general, can show us when we're going, how to schedule in pockets of self-care time, even if it's 10 minutes to go sit outside and eat your lunch in the sun. Try to find those moments in this season of busyness, in this season of a little bit of chaos, to take care of yourself. We can be so go, and this card reminds us to nurture ourselves as much as we're nurturing other people, and to find a little balance, which will be easier to do after the moon moves into Libra tonight. I don't know who this is to, but I love the energy, and I appreciate you, Kayla, for saying you're here every day. I don't know if you're talking to me or the people in the comments, but we're all here together. We're all creating this community together, supporting each other, and I love you all for that. All right, one more thing I want to say about this card, as the focus was on relationships, is that today is my anniversary with my partner, and so this feels very resonant for me of taking note of relationships, taking things to a new level, committing to each other, more, just having more commitment. So I just want to wish my boo a happy anniversary, to Julian, and thank him for being my greatest teacher in this life so far, and my greatest supporter in all of my endeavors. You guys see him here on the live streams all the time. So thank you. I will pass the message along to him, because right after I get off this live stream, we are heading out to go do a couple's energy healing with my lovely, beautiful friend, Kat, who is actually a Libra. Speaking of Libra energy, that's what we're doing this anniversary, is we are clearing our energy and doing a little healing together. Thank you. Not my Venus Pisces crying hearing you say this. Eclipse season is the perfect time for an energetic reset, and it just so happens our anniversary is right in the middle of eclipse season and right in the middle of my Saturn return, with my Saturn opposing my Venus. Anyway, we could get into that. We will get into that actually next Tuesday, you and me, Court, because Court's joining me on The Spiritual Journalist to talk all about Saturn returns. So if you have been wanting to learn more about Saturn returns, what that means, what it feels like to go through one, we're going to be breaking it down on Tuesday. And I'm sure my relationship will come up, because that's been a huge component of my Saturn return so far. So lots of fun stuff to look forward to. I will be back tomorrow to check in with you all, see how today went, maybe try to find a little more balance as the moon gets comfortable in Libra and we head towards that total lunar eclipse on Sunday. I love you all. I'm so grateful for you joining me and showing up for this community every day. More importantly, I'm so grateful for you showing up for yourself and spreading all the good energy we create here. Enjoy your day as well, Jazz, and I will see you right back here tomorrow morning. But until then, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.